explanation to do, and that is about a question that is around in the field of car design for the last year a lot, since the journalists, the public, a lot of people really question the way we handle brand design and the portfolio of a car factory in the industry for the last 10 years. And to illustrate the point where the criticism starts about how we handle things, we made a little explanation that is not using our typical way of explaining things, but it's a picture, it's an analogy which hopefully makes it a bit more obvious with which problem we are dealing today. And we brought here, and please come a bit closer, we have the luxury of being a bit more of a private group here today. So we brought these examples here. 3 elements of exhibition that highlight our current situation, and let's call it as well a problem. And here in this column we will show what we think could be the solution and our approach for the time. Now you can see here 90-60-40, that represents our cluster lineup. That's how we bundle our cars. I mean, obviously this is in the industry has different names. Other companies call their model lineup in a different way. This is just putting it into our language. And when you look at it, I will do it now like pretend, okay, this is how we would do it here at Volvo. Now, you mostly have a top-of-the-line approach where you establish your hero model with all the goodies in there. You put all the emphasis on that this is what the brand stands for, and all the design signatures, how you define the look of your cars, your brand. You kind of define it with the top of the range. So here we would say, okay, classy, elegant design, you know, that is the way that our brand looks. You have all the design signatures here. And if you then go to the next cluster, and in our case at Volvo we have the 60 cluster, you would go ahead and take exactly this approach of design into your next cluster. And you might put a couple of attributes to it and call it more sporty and dynamic, but in reality it is indeed an exact 7.5% scale down of what you did in the cluster above into the next one. And of course the premium car makers, they are very proud that over the last 10 years we actually entered the C segment and brought all the premium goodies and all our great design language into the smaller cars. And here you have the perfect lineup of what a car brand does today. Nice percentages of scaling down your design language, your design features, all the signatures, one-to-one translated, so that you would call the 100% fulfillment of a corporate design strategy, 100% consistent, and 100% boring as well, because indeed I think not only the journalists as well, the public, the customers, we all are a little bit fed up and bored about how cars just simply look alike, how you hardly have a chance to distinguish on the first glance, you know, is this now the big car of brand XY or is it the small car? You really, if you go to a car show, I mean, even it happens to me, if I go there, I have to, you know, look at the sign to distinguish where's actually the new XY within the big presentation of the brand. It's very hard to know where to go because there's so much looks the same. Now, of course, I don't leave it like that. This now is how we think it is a better way of doing and how we treat our model replacement. And of course we started with XC90 Now we have the S and the V90, where we clearly position Volvo in the premium segment. We have a very classy and elegant look in our 90 cluster. That, of course, is our topic there. We have this no-fuss approach, bringing Scandinavian luxury as an experience into our interiors. We have very high-class materials and craftsmanship as our theme. Now, very soon, next year, we will unveil our first car in the 60 portfolio, our XC60. And with the XC60, yes, indeed, a lot of the classy style, of course, we will continue. But in the 60 cluster, you actually have a car then there, which you could wear with a suit, no problem, modern look of a combination, but as well you could wear it with a jeans. So the 60 cluster, XC60, definitely is a car that just simply fits all occasions. You're never dressed wrong with an XC60. So the tighter, more personal fit is an attribute of that class. Now we had here, of course, the big theme about what CMA, what our new technical base for our 40 cluster is about. And since this is our event to explain as well what the design language of the 40 cluster is, we have here as well an example of how that would express in the world of shoe fashion. And the 40 cluster indeed is a new chapter for Volvo. It is much bolder in the shapes, it's much more extreme and expressive in colors and contrasts. It combines classic elements, like the perforated winglet design. We have the combination of a rubber and leather. We have a very classy appearance of the shoe in one perspective, and then you turn it to the other side and suddenly you discover a complete new world in it. So the adaptation of, you know, pop culture and new elements into the haute couture of designing a classy shoe, that is something that I would say is a good description of what we do in the design of the 40 cluster.